We're all learning some tech today.
That's right. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for bearing with us. We should be ready to get started now. So, great. Luna, you want to take it away?
Yeah, so this is our Tech Talk. We're going to talk about learning to navigate your smartphones. I have the iPhone 7, and Gabe, I don't know, he has an Android.
Yeah, it's it's one of the Motorola phones, but it should be compatible with any other phone that has the Android service on it as well.
So we're each going to talk about our own phones and our experience with iPhones versus Androids, but covering similar topics. So first we're going to talk about some basic mechanics and some quick tips for using your phones. First thing we're going to talk about is switching between apps. So Gabe, do you want to talk about your Android?
Sure. So for Android, pretty much the best way to go about switching apps is you may notice on the bottom of your phone screen, you have your main menu button. It looks like the little white bar right down there towards the bottom of the phone. And both, I'm pretty sure Apple is the same way now too, but smartphones are moving away from having a multi-button system to navigate your phone, and they're just having a single button at the bottom. So to access all of your apps that are open, there's a lot of apps that if you've opened them while your phone is on, they'll stay running in the background. So say you went on a website on Google and then you went to go check your email, Google is actually still open on your phone, even though it's not right in front of you on the screen. So all you got to do is just go down to that button at the bottom of the screen and swipe up with your finger. And what that's going to do is it's going to take the app that you're on currently and it'll make it zoom out so you can scroll left and right through all of the apps that are open. Luna, I'm not sure if you have access to the Google folder with the videos in it, but I recorded some videos too that we can play.
Yeah, so at the end of this live stream, I'm going to attach this PowerPoint and our Google document with some screen recordings so that you guys have all those resources. Gabe, should I pull that up now? I don't have it open, but I guess I...
That's good. I can send it to you and we can just circle back around to it. And everybody watching, feel free if you have any specific questions or if there's topics that you would like us to focus on, we can go over pretty much anything that you're curious about. Additionally, we have only about the first half of the live stream with a designated lecture, and then after that, the second half is just totally open to questions. So any sort of ideas that you have or things that you're confused about on your phone, stuff you'd like to learn how to do, we'd be happy to cover that. So great. Luna, you want to talk about any similarities or differences with the Apple?
So with iPhones, like I said, I have the iPhone 7, so I have a home button. But with phones without a home button, it's going to be really similar to the Android, where you're sliding up from the bottom of your phone, and then you're going to be able to see all the pages that are open. But if you have a phone with a home button, you're going to click your home button twice, and then you can slide left to see all of the pages that are open. Which brings us to the next thing we're going to talk about, which is closing running apps. So on both phones, you're just going to swipe up on whichever app you want to close, and it'll be gone. Right? All right. Quick press versus long press. Gabe, you want to talk about what that looks like for Androids?
Yeah, sure. So this might seem a little bit straightforward, or it might be something that is new to you as well. So the big difference on the phone is there's it's kind of like left click and right click on the computer. So a quick tap. My example photo here is the Messenger app on the bottom, but normally you just tap an app to open it, and that works for other stuff too. Like if you're on Google, you can tap images to get into them. But if you press and hold for, I think the normal is 2-ish seconds, it'll pop up kind of like a quick options menu. So on the Android, if you long hold on your home screen, you can uninstall apps that you may have installed earlier, as well as edit the position of the app. Also, if you're in, say, your email or Google, you can save images, just any sort of quick options that you would want to do based off of what it is you're looking at. If you do that long press, it'll help you navigate through and figure out what it is you want to do.
Yeah, and it's the same with iPhones. So the picture I have here isn't the updated picture, which is kind of just like my bad. But I have a picture right here. So this is the long press for an Apple phone. So if you just hold down on one of your icons, it gives you all of these options. Yeah, so this is accessing the control center, which also I think my accessing the control center is on a different. Oops, yeah. Here, so I'm gonna go. Oh wait, no, you have it. Sorry, go ahead, Gabe. Talk about your Android.
No, no worries. Yeah, and I'm looking at the chat over here too. So really, if you got any specific questions, feel free to jump in there, and we'll answer those. This seminar is really supposed to be for you. So if you find we're talking about some pretty basic stuff here. It's really important to be able to navigate through your phone. But if you already know all this and want us to go more details into other stuff, feel free to post something in the chat and we'll answer that too. So yeah, so the control center is a really important part of any smartphone. It's gives you access to a lot of the things that you would want to do on the fly at any given moment. So you can see in my reference image here, as well as in Luna's, that the quick menu has all sorts of stuff. So you can turn on and off your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth. For starters, access airplane mode, use your flashlight, access your settings, and usually that's just one swipe away from the home screen. So on the Android, what you're going to do is you're going to swipe down from the top of the screen, and you can do that over any app. So it doesn't matter what you have open. If you swipe down from the very top of the screen, a long swipe all the way towards the bottom, it should open up your control center.
Yeah, and for an iPhone, you're just swiping down from the bottom up, and then you have all of your whole control menu. I believe if you don't have a home button, you're going to swipe down from the left side, and that'll give you your control menu that way. For iPhones, you can customize your control center, and these are what all the different customizations are. So you can use any of these shortcuts on your control center. And if you like some of these options and you don't have them in your control center right now, or you want to customize that control center, you can go into your settings app and go to the control center button here, and then go to the customize controls, and then it'll show you all of the controls that you already have. And then down here is more controls. You can use these 3 lines to move where they appear in your control center. So yeah, it's pretty handy. And like I said, I'm attaching all these slides. So that's about it for our presentation. So if you have any questions, please let us know. We want to be here to help. Yeah. All right. So Gabe, you want to talk about voice memos maybe, or?
Great. Yeah. Well, Luna, I sent you that link if you want to pull up some of those videos as well. Because I know sometimes it helps to be able to see what you're doing on the phone too.
Mm-hmm.
So probably the 2 other things that just kind of in that quick overview we didn't cover that could be pretty helpful there is the first one is talking about emails, and the second one is how to utilize your texting and SMS, which is SMS is there's the iMessage, right, for iPhone, and then SMS is pretty much the same thing. It's just using your iMessages for Android. Yeah, so probably starting with, so I see we got some questions. Cody, a little bit more about navigating through video conferences. If you're having trouble finding the chat bar here for the YouTube live stream, go ahead and look to the right of the video stream. You should see an option. Your chat might be hidden, but right above, kind of where it has the up next area, you can see a lot of other videos that YouTube's trying to throw up that you can watch after our live stream. There should be kind of a bar up there that says show chat. If you click on that, it'll open up the chat for the live stream, and you can type anything you want into the bar at the bottom of the chat, and we'll be able to read that and comment on it right now.
Here, I might be able to even show you where that live stream is, or that chat is. Yeah.
And it's it can be super helpful, especially with the times that we're in and everybody not being able to leave their houses as much. Michigan Shores is going to be doing a lot more live streams on the YouTube channel, as well as in the future we may be moving to the Zoom application, which is pretty similar, except it's a little bit more person to person. You'll be able to talk to us if you want with a voice chat, and also
it can be super helpful, especially
turn it on. You can also have it keep it off and just tune in like you are now. But either way, there's a lot of different sorts of mediums that you'll be able to stay in contact with us here at MSC while you're at home.
So this is the chat right here. Hey, Mr. Gronky. So we have some videos here that we were going to incorporate into our presentation that we can just go over super quick. So this is switching between apps on an Android.
Awesome. And you can just go for it if you want. So this is my phone. That's my cat, Pabu. He's my favorite. So I have a couple different apps open here. I swiped up from the bottom of the screen to get to this tab. You can see that from Spotify, which I was able to navigate through the rest of my apps, to Google, where you can see these adorable cat photos that I was looking at as well. Now you can see there's actually a way that you can close apps from that same screen. So Luna, if you want to open up that video one more time.
Oh, sorry, there's more.
Oh, it's all good.
I thought it was repeating for me.
So from this, where you can swipe back and forth, say you see I left one of the video games I play open here. It's taking up a lot of my memory. All I got to do is just do that same swipe up, and that will actually close the app. So if your phone's running low on battery or you don't have access to a charger for a while, you can go to that same screen by swiping up and close out your apps. And Luna, I think you were saying that for iPhone, all you have to do is do a long press. You don't even have to swipe up to get to that menu.
No, you do swipe up.
You do?
Okay. Or you double click your home button. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So that was a nice reference for the first one.
Speaking of long press, this is our long press on an Android. Sorry, I didn't get my videos uploaded, but I'll do that, and then I'll share this folder after we're done.
Great. And I see here in the comments, Mr. Gronky saying he'd prefer if we did Microsoft Teams. That's awesome. If you have any recommendations for future mediums for us to reach out to you all, feel free to send them our way, and we'll look into them too. So. So this is the long press video versus short press. So you can see the long press. If I hold down with my finger, it'll give me a quick options. Here on Google, you can see at first that was the short press, right? I clicked on the image, but long press on this next one, it'll give me options to see the image in a new tab, download it, etc. So that long press is really, really helpful to take advantage of throughout all your apps.
Yes. Okay.
Awesome.
Browsing settings on an Android.
Yeah, and we can go into a little bit more detail of what the most important buttons on your settings screen, what they do as well, and how can help out. But once again, for the basics, this is kind of just showing you in a video form. On the Android, you'll have certain options on one, but you can actually add a whole bunch of options here. So I just swiped to the right in order to get to the next option screen. And all of these, you can use that long press on one of them to rearrange them, which is nice. This is the settings screen. Settings is really, really helpful if you're trying to learn more about your phone and set up your personal, to whatever sort of personal settings you'd like. This is to access Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Android's a little weird. They have this previously connected devices button that you click on to connect stuff before. Another one that's great on here, even if you would mind pausing it really quick. So here's like the security and location, which is great. You can set different sorts of screen locks. If you want to use Face Unlock, which is a new feature that a lot of phones have, the security and locations tab is where you do that, as well as to change your password, things like that. The other thing that I think is really helpful to know is if you go into your settings in the same sort of way, you'll be able to change the size of your text. It should be under either messaging. Oh yeah, here's me accessing my accounts. So under settings, you'll be able to see all of your emails, Facebook accounts, any sort of apps you have on your phone where there's an account related to it. You can access it here, and you can also remove old ones. So I don't want to remove GroupMe, but say I did, I could remove it from that tab. So.
Yeah. And here's our last video. I have a couple requests for topics for us to talk about, so we'll do that after this video.
Great. And this one's just a quick swipe up, and I think there might be some background noise too. I should have looked at that at the beginning. I can't really hear the audio right now. I'm only hearing Luna through my phone, so apologies for if there's any background noise in those. But yeah, that was just a quick video of me accessing the quick menu from the main menu.
Cool.
Yeah, so I think those are all the videos I recorded, but Luna, you said you had a topic you wanted to talk about next?
Yeah, so we're all using Zoom a lot more often now that we are, in quarantine. So I was thinking that we would talk about this Zoom menu we got going on here. Gabe and I are Zooming while on YouTube Live because we're super, super technologically inclined here and savvy. But when you're on Zoom with a group of people, this is what the menu will look like. We're in speaker view right now, but you can switch it to gallery view up here in the top corner. And so this is useful when you're in a big group of people and you want to be able to see everyone's faces. Otherwise, if you're like in a talk where usually one person is the one speaking, then you can switch to speaker view and you'll have a bigger view of that one person. I've been doing this whole video on screen share, so it's this green arrow right here, and you click screen share and it'll give you this box and it'll ask you which screen you want to share. So I guess hypothetically, if I had my phone on, I could AirPlay it to my computer, which is super cool. And I can either show this one Google Chrome window I'm on, or I can show the OBS application that I'm using for the screen sharing right now, or I can just show my entire desktop, which is what I've been doing. And this is what the screen share looks like. You have the two people in the corner, which is helpful. And then if you want to stop your screen sharing, this little green box with the red stop share is always going to show up when you're screen sharing, and you just hit that little stop share. If you want to record your presentation, you have this record button here, and it gives you a couple settings. Usually you'll do the record on this computer, and that'll just save to your computer. Otherwise, you're recording to the cloud, and that'll save to your iCloud, which I assume that's just popping up because I have a MacBook, and so I have that option. The chat is something I've been using a lot. I'm in like a book club with my family, and whenever we have yoga classes and stuff like that, where everyone is muted. But if you have questions, you click on the chat, and then I can say, "Hey, Gabe."
And I noticed here, Miss Poorman asked if we, when you talk, if it changes the video, whoever's the large picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I think normally it does, but if you look in the top left-hand corner with your mouse, there's a little lock that has an E on it. And you can actually use that to pin a specific person as the main image.
Yeah.
Google Chat works pretty similar.
Yeah. And then, so when you're in speaker view, if we had multiple people, then it would show whoever is talking. So, yeah. And then if you're in gallery view, it has this little box around whoever's talking. I don't know why it's on Gabe right now, but it should be on me. And then also in the top corner of your video, you can mute other people. So I'm the host of this Zoom, so I can mute Gabe. And then I also have these other settings because I'm the host.
It's on Zoom.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Oh, so Cody is requesting that we talk about how to join the virtual cocktail hour tomorrow, which sounds super exciting. And so he's gonna send out a link to you, and the link is gonna contain a Zoom code, and then also a link that will take you to Zoom. And so once you're at Zoom, you're just going to plug in that code and then join the meeting and have your virtual cocktail hour.
The address is zoom.us. Sometimes if your computer tells you different addresses, make sure that that's the one that goes.
I have my mom here giving me suggestions about topics to talk about. So
Molly,
she's
feel free to pop in too if you want to.
yeah.
I am popping in. I'm just doing it on a little notebook.
She wanted me to clarify that sometimes you're going to be brought to a zoom.com instead of zoom.us. So just a clarification, it's zoom.us. So yeah, if you're having any issues with whichever website you're on. And then also, I am using Zoom for the first time on my own computer for this event here, and I had to download the application to my computer. So when I went on the Zoom website, I was expecting to do all of this just through the website, but then it had me download the application. So if you go in and it's asking you to download something, that's why it's doing what it's doing.
It will also invite you to add audio, and it'll also ask you to access your camera. You're going to want to say yes, access my camera, yes, access audio, because that will engage you into the conversation. In particular, if you use your cell phone to click the link and participate in the virtual coffee hour, that too, you'll have to download the application, which you find in the whatever app store you have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's free. You're just going to get it. But you, unfortunately, for those people who hate to have to put in their Apple ID, you have to have that. You need to know what your Apple ID is in order to upload any apps.
Mm-hmm. A little bit more about the Zoom interface. If you are hosting the Zoom, this is super helpful and you want to just be like talking to the group of people and not have any interruptions or background noise, you can go to the mute in the corner here and then hit that little arrow and it will, I think it should let you mute everyone. Mom, is that right? Is that how I mute everyone?
I haven't done that yet, but
Okay.
I think probably.
There is a way to mute everyone. I think it should be here somewhere in the audio settings. Gabe, do you know more about this than I do?
So just kind of going on the fly here, maybe try clicking on one of our images at the top.
So that's how you would mute one person, but I think that as the host, I'm able to mute everyone.
All right, so as you can see, we're still learning as well.
Oh, here. So if you hit manage participants, you can hit mute all or unmute
That's
all.
only if you're the host.
But that's only if you're the host.
Explain 40 minutes.
Yeah. So you can also change who's the host if you want to give someone else more control over the Zoom. So like we have like a Zoom premium account that we use for our family book groups, but if we wanted to give someone else the Zoom hosting, then you would just click on these 3 buttons here, and then I can make Gabe the host, change host to Gabe.
But it would make it, if he doesn't have a paid for account, they can only have 40 minutes free.
Yeah. Okay. My mom is reminding me that when you are doing Zoom, so if you don't have a premium account like we do, you only have 40 minutes free, and then you're going to have to start a new Zoom session. So if you get kicked out of your Zoom and you don't know why, that's probably why. But you can do another session for free. It's just that it'll kick you out after that 40 minutes. But highly recommend the premium if you use Zoom enough, because it's super helpful. Yes. Oh, and links in iMessages. I find that this is like when I'm texting my grandparents, and my mom was talking about how she's had to show this to some other people. When you are getting a link in iMessages, here, let me see if I can open up my iMessages with my mom and show you what I'm talking about.
Oh, no.
So here we were talking about this video, and I was trying to send her the link. And sometimes with YouTube videos, it'll show you like a play button in the middle of this icon here. And you'll hit that one little play button, and then it'll just start playing in that small little box, and it's annoying. But if you click the gray under it, then it'll actually take you to YouTube or wherever that video came from. And then just links in general. If someone is sending you a link, all you have to do is click on it one time, and it'll take you to wherever the link is sending you, which is just like In emails, text messages, wherever, you just click it one time.
So like we were saying, there's a pretty strong possibility that we're going to be using Zoom a lot more frequently than YouTube Live moving forward. So all the information about Zoom is really helpful to know. There's also a message chat in Zoom as well, which is great. So if you're someone who is in a place where there's a lot of background noise, or you don't want to have your video active or your microphone activated, you can still send messages to whoever's leading the Zoom session through the chat. And that can be really helpful if you're somebody who wants to keep your side of things a little bit more private on Zoom. I see we got another question here from Mrs. Foreman about Instagram and how to post with other people, even if they aren't on Instagram. That is a great question. Do you want to take that away, Lena?
Sure. So here, let me share my screen with you. So, Miss Poorman, I actually just started using my Instagram account more frequently now that we're in quarantine, and I have learned all kinds of Instagram tricks. Please excuse my terrible profile picture if it pops up. No, I don't want that. Okay, so if I wanted to share this post, then I would click the 3 dots in the corner. Oh, no, just kidding. Sorry. Don't know as much as I thought. This is the online version, so I think it's different than
I can just quickly answer that question with my experience, because I don't have Instagram, but people do send me Instagram posts.
Yeah.
And I have the option to open it without downloading an app. So it's always possible for me to look at whatever somebody wants to show me on Instagram without having an Instagram account. If that answers your question.
Yeah, so I send like pictures of dogs and stuff to my family all the time. So like I said, you're gonna hit these 3 dots in the corner. This is on my phone, and then it'll pop up this menu right here, and you can see it says share to, except it's backwards for you. And then once I hit share, it gives me all of these options, and I can like airdrop it to my mom, and she'll get a yep, I got an airdrop. She got an airdrop. And so then when she opens up that link, it's just gonna it'll maybe give her an ad to download Instagram, but you don't have to have an Instagram account to look at the posts. Yeah.
Another thing that you can do if you're using your phone for Instagram, which I think is the way that a lot of people use it, is you can also just, if there's something that you really think is funny and you want to make sure you're text to people pretty easily, you can actually take a screenshot of stuff on Instagram as well. So I think, if I'm wrong with iPhones, but I know for Android, the way how you take a screenshot is you push down the volume down button and the power button at the same time. And when you do that, it'll take a screenshot of your screen. And that's just an image that you can save to your photos and then later share out to other people as well. And you can actually do that with almost anything on your phone. If there's like a text message you want to save for later, or some sort of really just like anything that you want, you can take those screenshots to kind of keep in your archive. Certain apps don't allow screenshots. Usually it's apps with more pertinent personal information, or if it has a lot of copyright information. But generally speaking, those screenshots can be helpful too.
Mm-hmm. And on an iPhone, if you have a home button, you're going to press the home button and the power button. And if you have an iPhone without a home button, you're going to press the power button and then the up volume button.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Awesome. And just thank you all again. We've had pretty much consistently 10 to 12 people on the live stream for this whole time.